Hey everybody, I would like to do a gear review here on the battery that I used for charging my devices this last spring from April to the end of May during those 60 days that I hiked 450 miles up in Pennsylvania and New Jersey and into New York. This is the ANKER. It's called the PowerCore 20100 or 20,100 because it is a 20,000 milliamp portable charger. Okay, and it has let me see if I can show you this. The ANKER logo there, and it's got two USB ports and of course then the input for recharging on it, and that's about it. Don't worry about what's written on the paper. We'll go over that here in just a second. But it is so those out there. So it's got 4.8 amps output altogether. Okay, and it's got the I guess the PowerIQ technology for the iPhone, and also the Samsung Galaxy. Now this will also charge a like an iPad, if you will, and so it has that capability with this higher charge. Okay. Let's see. This the high-speed technology, the PowerIQ and voltage boost combined to deliver the fastest possible charges. Okay, but it doesn't support the Qualcomm Quick Charge. Okay. Now it recharges in about 10 hours, but you have to use a 2 amp charger. Okay, if you use a standard 1 amp charger that comes with most cell phones, it's going to take you 20 hours to recharge this. So probably not a good idea. You need to have at least a 2 amp cube with you, if you will. Okay. Now last year, it does come with this little travel pouch. It's kind of a mesh, if you will. I used it. It adds just a wee bit of weight to it. I think this is a 12.58 ounce unit. When I put it on my scale with this little mesh bag, it comes right in at 13 ounces. So it's a relatively heavy one. The 10,000 milliamp that I used last year that had the solar panel on the face of it, it weighed about 8 ounces or so and would give me about 3.5 charges, and that just wasn't quite enough. If I had been able to continue all the way to Katahdin, I would have used it all the way to Katahdin and it made it work, but I was always worried about running out of power. Now this spring I added the app, the Hiker app for Gut Hook for the AT on it, so I knew I was going to be using the GPS more than what I used last year, and I wanted to do a little bit more movie taking because at least on my iPhone the video function really sucks the power up. So I wanted to be able to not worry about it. So I went with this behemoth here. Now it's not the biggest one. There's one that's bigger than this and weighs over a pound, which is overkill. Before I went out on the trail, I did this test. Okay, and now I'm going to insert a photo here of this so it'll be easier to read at the end of the video for anybody who's really interested. You don't have to really take notes now or anything like that. Let me see if I can tip this so you can read it just a little bit better. So I was able to get basically 8 full charges and a 9th charge starting at 2% up to at least 90. Okay, so in a way, if you only run your phone down to 20%, I got 9 charges out of it. Now it advertises 7.5. Okay, one of the things I thought was really interesting that I want to note, I've always heard that iPhones, if you take them below 20%, they take a lot of power and a lot of time to recharge. And look at this. So I purposely let it go down to 4 to 5% on my 4th recharge, and look, it took an extra hour to be able to recharge and make that up. between, you know, at 42% and 26%. I mean, there wasn't only 3 minutes difference in time there. When you get down towards the end, once again, it dropped down to 2%, and it took 3 hours and 30 minutes to get it up to 90%. So I think my lesson learned on this basically is don't let your iPhone go below 20% if you can help it, and you'll actually preserve backup battery power. Okay, so anyway, perhaps anecdotal, maybe a little bit more, since I actually kind of did the experiment, but you know, it wasn't all that. It was just me, you know, not charging my phone off the wall for 9 times. So now it took me 10 to 10 and a half hours to recharge using a 2 amp charger. Don't do any more than that. You know, your phone will only accept so much of a charge and same thing with the ANKER. It will protect itself, and so you can put a massive recharge unit on there, and it's not gonna do anything to help speed it up. It basically 2 amps is what it requires, and it's going to take you 10 hours. Now there's a power level light here. You can see there's 4 bars there. Each of those represents 25%. On my solar charger, you could charge it up to full charge off the wall, but with the sun, it would only take it up to 75%. It had some sort of a protection feature in it. Now, when you initially plug your phone in, okay, at least with my iPhone, what it ended up doing is if you plugged it in and it was extremely low, it would start to recharge. It would automatically, the lights would come on and it would start to recharge. If it was relatively full, it may not necessarily come on. The bottom line is the only time it will charge your phone is if these lights are on. Okay, so if you plug your phone in and the lights do not come on, it will not charge, but you can force it to charge by pushing the button, turning on the lights, and then you'll hear your phone, you know, do its beep to tell you that it's actually in a charging cycle. Okay? All right. So, am I happy with it? Yes. Am I happy with the weight? No. One of the things I wanted to show you, see if I can get this to show up, and I'll also put a picture at the end here so you don't have to try and write anything down. Here's mine here. Okay. The 2000 milliamp. Here's one that's 13, and it says it'll do 4.7 charges. Okay, honestly, that's probably what most people will need, because most people are going to resupply every 4 or 5 days. So your phone's got a charge on it when you leave town. That's day 1, and if it gets you another 4 charges, that's day 5. You probably, and it's 8.5 ounces. If I had to do it over again, I'd probably get the PowerCore 13,000. Okay, but I am happy with the 2010. I did not have to worry about running out of power, and if I wanted to during a break, you know, watch a little news, watch a little TV on my phone, listen to little iHeartRadio. I had plenty of power, and I never had to worry. And that was one of the nice things, is just not having to worry. All right, let me move this out of the way for a second. So, what about charging units? Okay, you know, your 2 amp are going to be your, you know, you're going to find them they're going to be larger. Okay, a little heavier. This one's for one of those Galaxy Tabbies, kind of notebooks, if you will. It's not extremely heavy. It's a little bit heavier than a little regular cube. Of course, you've got your, you know, I'm an iPhone guy, so you got your Apple wall charger. But once again, this is going to require 20 hours to charge that cube if I try and use this. But it is kind of nice, and it's light. But I found at, I think it was like a Walgreen, I found another cube, and weight-wise, it's about the same as my Apple, just a little bit heavier, and maybe a little bit heavier than this. Okay, But this has got 2 ports on it, so I can charge my phone and my brick at the same time, or my phone and my action cam here that I'm using. So and what I really like is it stows. Excuse me, I've got the cough. Sorry about that. This is important for not poking holes in stuff. So I can't remember how much this was. It wasn't that much. The only downside in it, you see that little, oops, I'm sorry, I'm out of the picture here. So you've got this little light right here. That sucker's bright, if you can see it. So when you plug that in the wall, that thing comes on, and it is a little irritating if it's shining in your face at nighttime. So there's more than once I had to put a sock over it to kind of dim it out. And if you're in a hostel, somebody will complain that kind of turn that spotlight down. It's kind of annoying, but it also tells you that it's working. So anyway, nice little cube. Like I said, it wasn't very expensive, and it's got the right amperage. I think it's like a 2.5 amp. I don't know if we can. I don't have my glasses on, so no, it's a 2 amp. So each one of these is 2 amps. All right, so it'll charge it in the right amount of time. All right, so that is the Anker 20,100 is the model number. Okay, and like I said, I liked it. It worked well for me. It met my needs and then some. I never had to worry about not having any power, but I did have to lug it around because it is a little on the heavy side. All right, everybody. I'll throw a picture of the charger I used last year. This picture coming up right now is the last one that I had kind of taken of me by somebody else on the trail before I had to come off last year in the Shenandoahs. And then the next one's going to be the chart, the charging times, and then the other one will be the list of the different Anker products out there, and to kind of give you an idea of what's available. All right, have fun, everybody, and hike on.